Welcome to the Champion Breakdown,
where we highlight the gold nuggets, the tips and tricks to help you become the best version of yourself in your journey to becoming a champion.
Welcome to the Champion Breakdown. We are here to break down our interview that we just did with Liam Pace. It was amazing. I'm so glad that you guys got to hear from him. He is such just an amazing human being and such an amazing role model and so much knowledge. And we just loved hearing from him. So we are going to break down his top tips. And number one, I loved that he talked about keeping the fun. He really talked about any time that he went through a hard moment that he just wanted to get back and have fun. And I think that if you can have the fun and in whatever you do, that's where you're going to find the magic. And we hear that from so many of these champions that we listen to, is just finding the fun and bringing it back to the fun. And he really talked a lot about that. And so that's why we said that was tip number one.
Yeah, we're here to have joy. Find it, guys. That leads us to tip number two. I loved when Liam was talking to the parents, basically. We know a lot of parents listen to this podcast now, and his tips were gold. I think so many of us feel like we're not doing enough, myself included, and you look sideways and see what everyone else is doing and feel like maybe there's more you could do to support your kid. But I love how, throughout his whole journey, he talked about basically figuring it out himself. He didn't say this in the podcast, but he really hasn't had coaching. He just watched and learned and just got out there and did and learned by doing. And I think every one of us parents of athletes need to take that advice. So that's tip number two. Just letting the kid be.
And tip number three is to push past the hard and you'll find the greatness. Obviously, he's had a lot of injuries that he explained in the podcast, and those have been really hard for him. And he had to work through them, and it was really hard. And so just pushing past that and not giving up, and that's where you'll find the greatness. I love that. He is an amazingly hard worker, and you can hear that. You can hear that in, kind of all the things that he talks about, but also just watching him. If you just check him out on his Instagram, actually, we're going to tell you about all that, where to find him at the end of this episode. But if you just check him out, you can just tell that he's such a hard worker, and he's just awesome. So pushing past the hard and finding the greatness.
And tip number four, leading into just, even though he talks about fun all the time and the love of skateboarding, there's always the undercurrent of hard work and persevering, just not giving up no matter what.
And tip number five, this is my favorite probably that he talked about when he was talking about what advice would he give any up and coming skater that wants to be just like him, is just being a good human and doing what's right for you and not giving into the peer pressure. I can imagine, just like he was talking about, there can be a lot of peer pressure, especially at the skate parks, and just knowing what is right and making the right decision. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted him on this podcast to begin with, because he is somebody that, a lot of young champions, especially the young champions that are in the skate world, are looking up to him. And to have someone like that say just choosing the right thing and do the right thing and be a good human, that is just such an amazing quality. So we're so glad that he said that. And so that is our tip number five.
And go find Liam and be inspired daily on his Instagram. It's just his name, Liam Pace, with the underscore at the end, LIAMPACE_. And you'll be inspired by his work ethic and the gnarly stuff he is doing. And he is in this skateboarding for life, I think you could hear. And so it'll be fun for you to watch his journey. Thanks so much for listening. We're grateful for this tribe of champions.
And don't forget to tune in next Monday. We have an amazing superstar coming at you, and we can't wait for you to hear who it is. So thanks for listening.